met at Harrah's Casino. I was down there with a friend to see the Billy Idol concert because we thought it'd be so funny to go see him in concert.
My friend at the time, Ryan, was like, hey, we're going down to Harrah's to see Billy Idol in concert.
Afterwards, we were talking to one of our friend's boyfriends named Carly, and Christopher was there, and I don't even remember, we just started talking.
We were just all talking and hanging out, and Jennifer and a friend of hers came up, so we started talking, and everybody as a group, and we hit it off, and a couple months later, I was like, hey, you want to be my girlfriend for the night? And she was like, yeah, let's do that.
And I was like, well, I'll just be your girlfriend for the night, and we were like hooked in arms, walking around talking to people. And
I just looked at her and I said, you are the prettiest girl I've ever seen.
To which I said, I bet you say that to all the girls, and he's like, no.
I was like, no, I mean, I'm not one of those guys.
It just sort of took off from there. I think we sat in the middle of the casino for like 3 hours talking that night.
It was like 2 in the morning. I was like, hey, are you going to church?
I told him I was going to Hope Church the next day to see Amy Grant sing because she's my cousin, distant cousin.
And she's like, yeah, my cousin Amy Grant's performing.
And he's like, oh, do you go to church with like other people or do you go alone? And I was like, wow, you want to go to church with me or something?
And I was like, yeah, I do. So I did.
He picked me up the next day for church. We went, he took me to lunch afterwards. We sat at Huey's for like 2 hours, and it just sort of fell in place after that.
After that, I was like, hey, I'll talk to you in a few days, and the rest is history.
And the funniest part about this is so he drops me off back home and was like, well, I play basketball on Mondays, so, I'll call you Tuesday. And I was like, okay, and I got in the house, I started thinking about it. And all day Monday, I was like, he's so playing the game. He's giving me the 2-day rule. He doesn't want to talk to me till Tuesday. I'm over this. I'm too old to play games. So I just texted him that day and was like, hey, how are you? Had fun yesterday. That means I'm not waiting till Tuesday for you to call me. And I guess at work that day, I found out later, the whole time he's like, oh, she texted me. What do? I got to play the 2-day rule, but she texted me. Do I text her back? And yeah, so I totally called him out on his game.
The best date we've ever been on?
When we first started dating, we always just seemed to hang out at my house. Like, it wasn't movies and dinners and stuff. It was just hanging out, getting to know each other, talking till like 3 in the morning, which I'm not a late night person. So I guess I really liked him because I was sacrificing my sleep.
I'd probably say a Grizzlies playoff game, just because of the atmosphere. We're both basketball fans, and she's become a Grizzlies fan being here in Memphis. So it's one of the playoff games. It was just the exciting atmosphere.
He came over one night to hang out, and he brought his guitar, and we just had like a sing-along. He played the guitar, and we'd pick out songs that we knew, and it was just a lot of fun. And I thought, man, that takes a lot of guts to put yourself out there and perform like that in front of someone you don't know very well, because I don't know if I would have the guts to do that.
I'll say we've had a lot of fun dates, but that's probably one of the most, exciting.
I said I love you first.
That was Jennifer.
It was kind of funny. For the longest time, I think we both knew we wanted to say it.
We were just talking one night, and she just blurted it out, so.
But it was just one of those things, like, let's not say it too soon. And we would just kind of like nod at each other, and that was kind of our way of saying, like, yeah, we know we love each other. We haven't said it yet, but we know it.
We had kind of been hinting at it, but we didn't want to say it too soon in our relationship.
One night, I had a really bad day. I'd actually gotten let go from a job, and we were sitting on the couch, and I don't even know, and I'm not a patient person, and I can't wait for people to do things, and so I just sort of blurted it out. And the minute I said it, I was so mad at myself and thought, I can't believe you just said that. And of course, he was like, I love you too, and it's fine that you said it first. But yeah, I'm an impulsive person. I couldn't wait any longer.
And I had to respond with I love you too, because I did. But she was the first one to say those words.
I always say I don't believe in love at first sight. I had to have a second glance.
She's one of the most fun people, probably the funnest person I've ever been around.
There was definitely a moment the night I met him where I thought, okay, God, clearly you put this person in my path for a reason, And then just more and more over the next few weeks, just getting to know him, I thought there is no one else meant for me besides him.
She makes me feel special. But I'd say about 2 months in, 2-3 months in, after we had been hanging out a little while, that I realized, hey, this person is making my life truly better.
Because if I had taken a piece of paper and written down every single quality I wanted in the person I'd spend the rest of my life with, he probably would have had all of them. Just the littlest things, about him to, major things about him were just what I would have wanted.
I proposed here where we are right now at Powell Road Park, and it's a place that's special to us.
We have gone on walks before in this park, and normally I'd come over, we'd go on a walk, we'd grab dinner, we'd watch Big Bang Theory and Jersey Shore. It was kind of like our Thursday night ritual.
My grand scheme was to carve in pumpkins, and there's 5 pumpkins, and they said, "Will you marry me?" And the 5th pumpkin said yes, and hopefully that was going to be her answer. It was the day of. She called me. She's like, "Hey, my friend, you know, she wants to have dinner and hang out. Do you mind if we walk a little bit later?" Well, this is messing with my master plan because there's only so much daylight in the day, and I had planned. I looked at when sunset was. It was about 6:35, so I was like, well, you know, I was really wanting to go walking with you. You know, I enjoy spending that time with you. And she's like, well, okay, I'll just tell my friend that I can't make it tonight. And I was like, you know what, just you make the call. I mean, I don't want to sound controlling, but you know, you have fun with your friend if you want. If not, we can walk another time.
So, and I talked to my mom that day. I'm like, he's acting so weird. And like a teeny part of me thought, well, maybe it's because he's going to propose. And I was like, no, I don't really think that's going to happen tonight, you know.
So she comes to my house. She's like, I called my friend, you know, and I'm gonna meet up with her another night. So I was in the clear.
I get to his house, you know, say hi to his parents. We go on a walk. We're walking up this trail here, and he was walking like really fast.
I have to keep the ring on the right side because she's on my left.
And I asked him, I was like, why are you walking so fast? Because normally I'm the one who's like, okay, we gotta walk, we gotta burn calories. And he dawdles, and he said, well, you normally just like tell me to walk faster, so I figured I would just start now. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. You know, halfway through the walk, I'm like, can we just go? I just want to eat dinner. I'm hungry. Like, I don't want to finish this walk.
And on the inside, I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to finish this walk. I know I have 2 people planning on the other side, and I got to get there. And I was like, you know what? We're halfway here. We might as well just finish, and we'll eat in a few minutes.
I'm like, okay. So we're walking around, and we're by the pavilion. I can see pumpkins lined up, and there's people in the pavilion. I was like, Christopher, that is so cool. Those people carved their pumpkins in the park not to make a mess at home.
And it was an adrenaline rush for me because I obviously didn't plant the pumpkins there. I know that they're gonna be there.
And you know, it doesn't dawn on me that it's October 6th and why would anybody carve their pumpkins, you know, 3 or 4 weeks before Halloween. And he starts walking over towards the pumpkins, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I know him. He's gonna strike up this conversation with these people about their pumpkins, and I just wanna go eat dinner.
So she starts walking over there, and I start getting a little closer, and she's looking with me, and she's like, there's something carved in them. I was like, oh, really? She's like, that's a great idea. So I was like, let's take a look.
They say, will you marry me, carved into them.
She takes about 3-4 steps away, and I grab her hand. I'm like, no, 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 no. These are for you. And she's like,
and of course, like at that point, I just start screaming, and you know, it hits me. And
that moment lasted forever, and it's pretty cool because in that moment, it's like, this is a perfect moment that all my plans had gotten to a point where everything had gone smoothly, and she said yes. Say her eyes and personality, if I could do 2, but definitely the first time I saw her, I looked into her eyes.
Definitely his personality.
Had a good feeling that she might be the one.
So at ease with who he is, and you know, doesn't care what anybody thinks, and nice to everybody, you know, never met a stranger. Love that about him.
A characteristic that she does, sometimes it drives me nuts, is that she's a big planner.
Oh my, where to start? I'm just kidding.
And she likes to have everything in order of the way things are gonna happen.
He's really obsessed about his car, a little too much. He doesn't like it if we're sitting in the car, and if even I'm leaning over to kiss him, to be nice to him, if I have my elbow like leaning in the leather of the console, he gets so upset that my, you know, super pointy, sharp-edged elbows are gonna rip the leather or mess it up.
Not everything happens like you want. Like with my proposal, things happen, you have to adjust. So sometimes we have to be flexible, and when things get out of control, she kind of gets a little worked up, I would say.
So I think he needs to lighten up a little bit. Christopher is very supportive, all aspects of my life. Spiritually, I know he's always praying for me, even if he doesn't even tell me he is, I know it.
Spiritually, she prays with me. We pray together, go to church together. I guess you could say we're accountability partners in the sense that in our marriage, we want God to be first. Work-wise,
he's really supportive. You know, there's been a few nights where I've had to work really late because I've sold a deal and I'm trying to get it in, you know, to the system. And one night in particular, I worked until like 9:30 on a Friday. And the guys I worked with, their wives are like blowing them up every 5 seconds. Like, where are you? Why aren't you home yet? You know, Christopher came over to my house, took care of my dogs for me, had made dinner for me, had cleaned up my kitchen, and had even bought me a few things at Target he knew would make me happy. You know, had no complaints about me being at work late, and he always asked me throughout my day, like, how's your day going? How's the deal going? Good luck on your meeting. You know, he's always supportive of my job, which I think is really important.
With my job, she's very supportive. She's always asking me how things are going, asking me about how my day is. You know, just how things are going, if I've met goals, or if I've done, you know, how many accounts have you opened, blah, blah, blah. She's always there to say, you know, how's your day going? She just makes my days a lot better than they used to be before her.
You know, he knows I write a blog, and he never makes fun of me for it. He always says, hey, you haven't updated your blog in a while, I want to read it.
She's very uplifting, and she's very positive.
He keeps me grounded. I get really upset about little things, and we'll fly off the handle and get mad, and he'll always kind of bring me back down and say, okay, is this really worth getting upset about, you know?
And she just makes life for me more enjoyable.
You know, there's no one in the world more than him, I think, that supports me and loves me unconditionally. Where will we be in 5 years? Living in a huge house in the suburbs with 2.5 kids and a white picket fence, just kidding.
5 years from now, I see us happily married.
I don't know. I guess wherever life takes us.
Possibly a little one.
We're gonna be really happy and still having fun.
It's kind of fun to talk about, but for the first couple of years, we want to be able to enjoy married life as newlyweds.
Maybe we'll have kids at that point, maybe not, but I'm just having so much fun focusing on the present right now. I'll just let the future worry about itself.
Definitely living life to the fullest and having fun. Just being together and being married.
Christopher, I'm so excited to marry you. I can't wait to be your wife.
I'm so excited to be your husband. I cannot wait to the life that we're gonna have together.
I have waited for you my whole life.
You're my absolute best friend.
You're everything I've ever wanted and more.
You just make everything that much more special with you in my life.
God has answered my prayers beyond my wildest expectations the night I met you.
I love you, Jennifer, and I'm so ready to be your husband.
And I just look forward to spending the rest of my life with you, and I love you.
So I will see you at the altar.